Hey friends, it's Jay Lobos coming back to you on another episode, and on today I always obviously talk about credit, and I wanted to talk to something that's really important. It's something that I always think of as well, which obviously it coincides with establishing good credit, but it's something that I don't tend to talk a lot of or about, especially on video, but nevertheless I think it's important for us to really realize that there's a couple of factors, especially when it comes to either paying ourselves first, the way that our mind or state of mind is when it actually comes to trying to have good credit, maintaining good credit, having certain habits that could be really beneficial to us. So for you guys out there that are checking this video out for the first time, my name is Justo Villalobos. I'm the president and CEO of Buildworth Strategies. Obviously, this is the J Lobos channel, where I try to bring you guys as much financial, fruitful information, credit-wise, so that you guys are able to equip yourself through this financial journey of life or whatnot. So for you guys out there that are seeing this for the first time, I would really appreciate it if you guys, obviously shared this video if you find this very informative. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I'm gonna obviously continue to bring you guys more information when it comes to finances. So one of the things that obviously, as a matter of fact, I was sharing just the other day with one of my customers, and as a matter of fact, I was having this conversation with my son. He is 11 years old. He just turned 11, and I want to start as a parent instilling information, ideas in his mind, not only on what and how he thinks, but also on how he views money, how he views credit, because those are things that in the future is going to benefit him. Now I obviously talk to grown people, I talk to adults, and people who are going through different situations financially, people who are looking to purchase a home, people who want to go ahead and buy a car, refinance a car, maybe start a business. And even though that we know that credit is one of those important things, but there's also other important factors, because besides credit, we also need a financial and monetary side of things. And this is where I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information of things that I personally feel that could be really beneficial to you guys throughout your journey. So let's go ahead and dive into that. So one of the things that I always think of when it comes to my finances, I always think of paying myself first. And really, what do I mean by that? One of the first things that I always think of is paying myself first, in a sense of the money that I'm working for, am I using some of that for certain things, such as first off, is it meeting my needs? Obviously, there's two things. We have wants and we have needs, right? We all want a lot of things. We always want, a pair of sunglasses. We want a new bracelet. I love gold and stuff like that. I want the new outfit, the new shoes. Sometimes we have that need, but is it really what is it really, that's the want? Is it really do I really need that? Which is a real question, and really think about that, analyze that, because if it's something that you don't need, and it's more of a want, then we have to go ahead and take that into consideration. Obviously address that, because at the end, there's going to be certain things that we need to go ahead and structure within our finances, and if we don't get a grasp on that, then most of our wants are always going to take the form of certain actions, and it could get us into certain trouble. So you have to obviously categorize what are your needs and what are your wants, and if it's something that it's needed, then we obviously have to give that a little bit more attention. So one of the things is paying yourself first, and a real quick way to address that: pay yourself how much? 10%. So obviously that 10% is something that you might be able to go ahead and use, because what tends to happen, a lot of the average consumers, they tend to make whatever they make throughout the month, and by the end of the month, or even safe to say by the end of the payday period, mentally they've already made certain decisions that by Monday, after a payday, they might not even have anything left, and that creates something. That creates, there's one of those things that thoughts create actions. Through those actions, we obviously get some sort of results, and it becomes this vicious cycle, and sometimes we act based on the results that we have. And if we don't pay ourselves first, and when we grab that 10%, let's do something with it. Let's go ahead and start creating an emergency fund. Let's go ahead and create a short-term savings account. Let's even think about a long-term savings account, or even an investment account when it comes to retirement. Why? Because what happens is that we get paid, then we obviously execute certain actions, and through those actions, which obviously become habits, we go through this vicious circle. And at the end, by the end of the pay period, obviously, or in this particular case, you get paid on Friday. By Monday, you end up not having anything, and then you obviously operate in a scarcity mentality. We make decisions that at the end are not going to help us to get to that next level. So I highly encourage for you guys to really consider that. Pay yourself first. Do the right things. Instead of focusing on what you want, look at your needs and organize yourself accordingly. One of the things that I always highly encourage, especially my team, is we have to always adjust our thinking. People always talk about, grab your 5 closest friends and you add all of those friends, total income per year. More or less, it'll dictate your income as well. So with that said, think about who you hang around with. Think about the information that you're bringing in within yourself, the audios that you're listening to, the books that you're reading, the people that you're socializing or hanging around with, because all of those things are really important when it actually comes to having the right state of mind, the right support, obviously, and even for you guys out there that maybe have, a friend or a best friend or a spouse or a mother or a brother, somebody who's obviously not adding value to your life, you really gotta take that into consideration. I always tell this to people, and it's unfortunate, and it goes back to reviews. We obviously have Google reviews or whatnot, and we have good ones and we have bad ones, and it kind of hurts me when somebody decides to not to take the next steps when they see a bad review, which we're literally making a decision based on other people's opinions. Either it be positive or negative, instead of going through the motions or the process ourselves and really identifying if it's something really that I need or if it's something that I want, and having that close circle of individuals that are advancing or getting themselves to the next level. It's going to be something that's really important. So change our thinking, read a book. There's obviously something that says, if you think you won't, then you won't. If you think you do, you will. For those that think that they're right, there usually are. And the ones that think that they're not, there usually are as well. So, be positive, be proactive, especially through the credit repair journey. It's not an easy journey, not for everybody. Actually, for the most part, it's always going to be a lot of adversity. There's going to be a lot of, ups and downs. It's a process that you have to go through. But nevertheless, if you're persistent, if you're positive, if you stay on course, there's no reason why you can't achieve your financial goals. So to go ahead and finalize, one of the things that I always think of too is it's not what you earn, is what you keep. And you really have to think about that, analyze that from a really clear perspective, because at the end we tend to fight so much for things that we want, but a lot of the times too we end up losing them because we don't have a sound structure or a sound process. So for you guys out there that are obviously going through the whole credit repair journey, keep on the good fight. Don't lose faith. Surround yourself around positive and people that think alike. I'm obviously a very inspirational, motivational type of individual, intuitive, and obviously this is a process, it's a journey, but we have to surround ourselves with the right people. So I hope this video was very informational, guys. Continue to stay tuned. I'm going to continue to bring you guys more advice, more information, so that you guys are able to achieve your financial goals. So again, guys, like, subscribe, and share if you think someone else needs to hear this message. Thank you so much.